Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you. It's been a while since I've done a live broadcast. I missed Saturday and Sunday. Oh my gosh. So I hope you guys had a nice weekend. And even though it rained here in Washington State, it's a beautiful day today, and I should be out jogging. So I'm going to try to do that next. But I wanted to review with you some of my notes that I had on a webinar this morning, and it was just phenomenal. It was a really great webinar. Sometimes, you are driving along and stuff and you just go in the ditch. Like somebody says something to you and it just totally just sends you off sideways, and it's very hard to get out of the ditch, right? And so this webinar that we talked about is how to have massive success, and he calls it massive duplication. And he goes through and talks about, this is Danien Feier, and he's from Germany, and now he lives in Dubai. And he was able to, with his business, grow it from income of 5,000 a month to, I think he said 40,000 in 1 month. And it was just incredible. And so he said what he did is he just buckled down and actually created clarity for himself, like did a lot of training in his mind, learning the process, learning what he was up to, and created intensity around that. So what does intensity look like to you? Intensity means like 10 up. Like there's a really good book called right here, called The 10X Rule. And this book is phenomenal. It's by Grant Cardone, and I've been reading this book, and he's on tape too. And it's really a good book about just get your butt off the couch and get going, right? A lot of people have a hard time just getting engaged and figuring out what it is that they're doing because they're not clear about it. So if you have clarity, simple, keep it really simple. And I tend to not keep things simple. I'm one of those people that has lots of things going on all the time and try to mix it up. But if you can keep it simple, you're able then to have easier steps to get things done. And it is simple. Like, I don't know why we have to make it so complicated. So adding intensity to your clarity is really good. And then also adding excitement to it. So I can understand, I've been watching a lot of these Zoom calls all year long. And a lot of leaders actually stand up. And I think that that is such a great idea. So you might see me standing up from time to time on these to be able to create energy, to be able to have lots of excitement around things, because really it is exciting what we're doing. It's very exciting. And so to be able to create energy actually creates interest. And that's what people want, is that we are all right now trying to figure things out. There is no clarity out there in the world, right? We have no clarity right now. What is going on? What is going on with this pandemic? What is going on with our lives? What does the future look like? And then, but if we can just set that aside and put your goal in front of you and actually put intensity in front of it. So what the intensity looked like to him is that he actually did 100 phone calls very quickly. And it sounded like to me it was in one day within 4 hours. And he just left a message, and just touched a lot of people and just gave them a lot of love, gave them some sunshine, right? And just said, hey, this is what we're up to. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, and just left a message. And that is so impactful because everybody right now just wants to be connected. And so what is wrong with calling 100 people in a day and just reaching out to so many people? And what happens is that creates excitement. It creates momentum, and you're able to move forward with that. One of the things that energy out there is there's everything has energy. One of the really cool things is the oils have energy, right? So you can tell and you can feel the energy that the oils have. And so if you were to look at, if you have no energy, then there's no momentum, there's no movement, because there's nothing pushing it forward. So if you're going to push a grocery cart down the grocery store aisle, it takes energy, it takes movement. So if you're going to pick up that phone and start calling, it takes movement, it takes energy to do that, right? And so once you get that energy going, you can push that cart down the hall and it will just keep going. And that's the energy. Yes, Mom, that is what 100 phone calls will do. 100 phone calls. Can you believe it? And you want to stay excited through the whole time. It is hard to stay excited the whole time. And it seems like it's fake or artificial and stuff like that. But actually, once you create that muscle and keep that going, it's actually easier. That has its own energy and its own momentum. So getting up and going outside and doing a walk and stuff actually is really a good thing to do. So the other thing that they talked about that I really took away from this class today, and I'm trying to find my notes here, is basically, and it was really, really pretty cool, is that when you're talking to people, there's all these excuses. So I would like to know what was going through your mind when I said 100 phone calls, like doing 100 phone calls in 4 hours. What does that look like to you? And how can you get that done? Like, and what goes through your mind? Oh my God, I can't do that. Or, oh my God, everybody's going to have all this noise that we bring forward. And believe me, I have it too. And so, like, there's not enough time. I don't want to bother people. They don't want to listen to me. There's not enough, I don't have enough information or enough time to do it, right? All these excuses that we have, or whatever they may be, I want you just to take a minute and think about those excuses. And then all of these excuses are just a lack of resources. It could be true that you don't have enough time. That's a lack of resource. It could be true that you don't have enough people on your list of 100 people. That's just a lack of resource. What a true leader can take and look at that lack of resource and become resourceful and actually create those opportunities to happen and not let that be a negative, but let that be a positive. And so turning that around and being able to switch that forward, oh my gosh, that's such an incredible idea, right? And so also, the other thing that was talked about is we just don't have time. Like, if you don't have time, we don't have time to listen to the excuses. So put those excuses back on the shelf and actually don't let them drag you down like a boat anchor, but actually turn them into a great resource. So, for example, some companies are having a hard time shipping things. Some of the products are not going through very quickly, back orders, blah, 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 blah. Actually, you can turn that around into something very resourceful. And what that idea would be is, oh my gosh, come up with you take that and you want to install all that stuff and make it into a resourceful thing by actually saying, oh my gosh, we're out of product. This is so exciting. We were so popular that we don't have any inventory. So isn't that great? So you need to sign up today because everybody else is. Why aren't you? And be able to turn that into an actual huge win and positiveness so that way people can see the momentum and the energy and stuff and not that negative. Because if you sit there and talk about how that's not working or that's not going to happen, then you're actually going to create that negativeness with the team and no momentum is going to happen. So it's a mindful thing. There are 3 points to that actually. And 3 points are, point number 1 is you want to bring in 100% all the time, 100% all the time, 100% present when you're talking to somebody, 100% listening, 100% energy all the time. So 10x it, right? 10x it. This is a good book, you guys. You should read it. And number 2, only do things that matter. Like, we have tons of things going on in the day. Like, I got to plant some plants. I can water my plants. I can clean the floor, or I can call 100 people. What's going to make a difference for me today? Calling 100 people. Maybe planting my flowers might be worthwhile too, but actually calling 100 people is really important. And number 3, again, just be resourceful. Turn that negative stuff around and make it resourcefulness. So I hope this was a good call today. I hope I gave you some good information, and I would love to know what some stories you have in your mind about not making 100 phone calls, or what you're going to take on as far as resourcefulness and choose to reach out and touch someone. So all in on oils, everybody. Becky Rainey, really glad to have talked with you today and look forward to hearing your chats below. Thank you. Take care.